Dubai, the city that rose from the impossible. Before we begin, let me ask you one simple thing. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, share it with someone who loves history, and if you want to support my work, use the link below. Now, take a deep breath. Today you'll get to know the story of Dubai, the city that literally transformed the desert into the future. The beginning of everything. It's hard to imagine, but just a few decades ago, Dubai had no skyscrapers, futuristic avenues, or artificial islands. It was just a small fishing village on the Persian Gulf, where the population survived on pearl trading and traditional fishing. In the 19th century, the place was so simple that maps hardly mention Dubai. But those people had something rare, a silent ambition, a spirit of commerce, and the courage to face the desert, sandstorms, and the raging seas. In 1833, the Al Maktoum family took control of the region, and thus was born a dream: transform a forgotten village into a global trading hub. The discovery that changed everything. But the big leap happened in 1966, when oil was discovered. What could have been just a fleeting wealth turned into a bold plan: use oil money not to enrich a few, but to build an entire city, open ports, and invest in technology, tourism, and education. Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum made a historic decision. The oil will run out, but our future will not. The city born in record time. And then Dubai did the impossible. Amidst dunes and dry storms, skyscrapers began to sprout. Roads were opened where there was only sand before, and the city started to gain a futuristic identity. In 1999, Burj Al Arab, the famous sail-shaped hotel, emerged, the first global icon of the city. Then came the Palm Islands, gigantic artificial islands visible from space. And in 2010, Dubai introduced the world to the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building ever constructed in human history, so tall that you can see the sunset twice in the same day, once from the ground and once from the top. It is as if Dubai were telling the world, we do not follow the future, we create the future. Why does Dubai attract so many people? Dubai attracts because it is a living promise. A promise of opportunities, security, growth, and innovation. A city that welcomes people from over 200 nationalities. A city where almost 90% of the population is comprised of foreigners, working, entrepreneuring, studying, creating, building. There, people go because they believe they can. Create businesses from scratch, earn more, live safely, experience comfort, and be part of something grand. The architecture makes you feel inside a science fiction story. The commerce makes you feel at the center of the world. And the energy makes you believe that nothing is impossible. The secret that almost nobody knows. But there is something that almost no one knows about Dubai. It did not become rich solely because of oil. In fact, oil represents less than 1% of the current economy. Yes, Dubai almost does not depend on it anymore. The real strength of the city lies in tourism, commerce, technology, logistics, real estate, and international investments. Another surprising detail, a large part of the iconic islands and buildings were planned even before the technology existed to build them. In other words, they designed first and figured out how to build later. Dubai doesn't wait for the future to happen. It invents the future. Dubai is intense, luxurious, brilliant. But it's also a living example of reinvention. It shows that even the desert can flourish when there is vision. That's why it leaves a mark on visitors. That's why so many people dream of living there. And that's why it has become one of the most admired places on the planet. In the end, Dubai is not just a city. It's a message. If you dare to imagine the impossible, it ceases to be impossible. If this story captivated you, leave a like, subscribe, share with someone who loves history, and use the link below to support my work.